Wow, good morning and welcome to Dialogue Box. It's been a very interesting week and we are moving on, marching on as a great nation, Nigeria. Thank you so much for being a part of this program. And as we have been saying, we are on Facebook. We also have our website, www.blossomnigeria.com. So you can visit our website and send in your comments and your suggestions on any issue that we have discussed so far. We look forward to hearing from you. And also, you can invite your contact, your friends, to join us on this beautiful program. So this morning, we are marching on, and like we have said, nothing can stop you and nothing can hinder you from your journey. You are the only one that can stop yourself. So make up your mind that no matter what, you have made up your mind that you must achieve your goal. We are moving into an aspect that requires a lot of reactions, suggestions, talking about just a second, Nigeria's processes when it comes to approving policies. And our topic says working towards speedy approval processes as the national recruitment exercise is put on hold. So why should an exercise that has gone that far be put on hold? So we are also going to get reactions from legal practitioners. Then we also will need you to send in your comments and your suggestions. So as we move on this morning, we would like to give you some heads up on what is happening around, as we also commend those who are worth commendation. First, we have a very strong one here for Nigeria. A Nigerian-born British writer, Bernardine Evaristo, has become the first black to win the Author of the Year in the British Book Awards. So that's a very big one. So she's the Author of the Year in the British Book Awards. So that's a plus for Nigeria. Then the Nigerian government, through the Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency, PPRA, have announced an increase in price for petroleum products. A litre of petrol is now to range from 140 naira to 143 naira. This was against the 121 to 123 that was being sold in the month of June. And this was announced by the agency. And they said that they had to do this because of the increase in the prices of importation of petroleum products. And there's also an allegation that the importation of petroleum products is still not a very good scenario, because we have cases where petroleum products that are already they are just a second petroleum products that are not very clean, they are not well refined, are being imported into the country. So a lot is being done to ensure that within our country we have what it takes to have our own refineries for petroleum products. Sorry for that break. Then as we move on, the National Union of Road Transport Workers has claimed an unofficial increase in transport fares because of the NCDC requirement of carrying less number of people. Yesterday we gave you news that the lifting of the ban of interstate travel has led to easy movement of those who are traveling. But we also told you that there was no increase in fares, because that was a feedback we got as at yesterday. And later in the day, more feedback reaching us has confirmed that there were really unofficial increments in the prices of transport fares, because the NURTW, that's the National Union of Road Transport Workers, are claiming that the requirement given by the NCDC for carrying less number of people is leading some transporters to increase fares, and this they cannot control. So we are still going to check to know and to get more feedback in this direction. Then we are commending the United Bank for Africa, UBA, for organizing an event, a series, which is a plan on improving the business scenario across Africa, talking about a Pan-African capacity building initiative held every quarter by the UBA Bank, that's the United Bank for Africa. So they had this event on Tuesday, and leading business managers and entrepreneurs attended the event and gave insight on best business practices. That's a very good one from the UBA. Then we also have the Information Minister, Lai Mohammed, announcing the digital switchover. That's for the nation Nigeria. There will be a full digital switchover, DSO, which will fetch Nigeria about $1.1 billion from the collection of TV licenses, digital access fees, etc. So in other words, they are moving fully from analog to digital across the nation. So the Minister of Information says that this will also help the nation generate more income, and right now they have projected the first batch of income to be within the range of $1.1 billion that will be coming from TV licenses and more digital access fees. Then we have the Academy of Motion Pictures. Let me take that again. The Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts and Science, AMPAS, they have released a list of 819 invitees across the globe, drawn from different countries, and Nigeria's three major practitioners in the Nollywood, talking about Genevieve Nnaji, a veteran actress, Akin Omotosho, a film director, and Cynthia Erivo, a Nigerian-born British actress, have been invited to be part of this, or to be members of this Global Movie Academy, and that's a big plus for our actors in the Nigerian movie industry. So that's a very big commendation coming from Blossom Nigeria. Then we gave you heads up yesterday that information reaching us has confirmed that domestic flights have commenced, but now we are seeing that the minister has given a little, they said they needed to do some more check and more work in the airport. So now they have moved the full commencement of domestic flights to July 8th. So that is a new, an update on what we gave you yesterday. Then we also have a big plus for the Federal Inland Revenue Service, recording 1,000% increase in stamp duty collection. And that's a big one for FIRST, that's Federal Inland Revenue Service. They've been recording a lot of positive news about how they have been able to collect taxes and different income for the federal government, and they've remitted a lot within the past few months. And now they are also giving us this, that they are recording 1,000% increase in stamp duty collection across the nation. So that's a big one. Thank you so much for being a part of this. So we are working fully with the people, the government, everyone that is a stakeholder in the nation, and our aim is to work towards a better Nigeria, a stronger Nigeria, and you and I are all contributors to the building of our nation. So with that, yesterday we talked about all that needed to be done in the education sector when the ASU chairman, Professor Ogunyemi, came out to say that schools should not resume, even though the federal government had given a directive that schools should resume, especially for the JSS 3 and the SS 3 students who are preparing for exams. But the ASU chairman said schools should not resume because the government was yet to meet up with conditions, terms and conditions that they gave to other sectors, including the provision of hand sanitizers, hand washing equipment, the isolation centers that he said every school should have, and all the other logistics that needed to be put in place. So we also said, based on our comments and our reactions reached us yesterday, we said that even though the ASU chairman has a very, very good point, but we still need to consider the future of our children. The year is moving fast, the month of July is on, and we can't ask the children to sit back at home while the politics between when the contracts of renovating schools, providing all the necessary equipment will start. That will really take a lot of time, and for us, we believe that a lot more can be done with the provision of running cost funds to the head teachers and the principals. And we said the government should look into this, and at the same time there can be a way of starting the processes of improving school facilities across the nation. But we shouldn't ask the students and the children to sit at home for that length of time. So we thank all of us that sent in our comments yesterday and even called in. Thank you so much. So this morning we are working on a topic that we've been commending the federal government on. We commended the federal government on how much they have done in initiating a project that was aimed at employing 774,000 Nigerians across the 774 local governments in the nation. And we said it's a very noteworthy project and initiative. But as the work has begun, even yesterday we said that committees have been set up to see to the effective working of this project. We also got information reaching us, also suggested that the National Assembly has put the project on hold. So we were wondering, why did that happen? So let me just give you a brief background as we work on it. It says the National Assembly says that the recruitment of 774,000 Nigerians is on hold until explanations are given on how the beneficiaries will be engaged. In a statement on Wednesday, Ajibola, Basiru, and Benjamin Kalu, spokesmen of the Senate and the House of Representatives, said the lawmakers are concerned about the proper and effective implementation of the engagement of 774,000 public works workers. In other words, they needed more explanation on how they will be effectively engaged. So for us in Dialogue Box, the question is, would it have been out of place for the National Assembly to allow the program continue while they get the necessary explanations on how the program should run, instead of putting it on hold? So we think that even though they have a very strong reason for demanding more explanations, are you sure this program will run effectively, a program like this should not be put on hold, because a lot has gone into it. Committees have been set up, the work has started effectively, and we even got a report that some senators have even set up units in their constituent areas for people in their local areas to come and apply for the project. Like we have Honorable Julius Ihonwere in the Edo, Owa Northeast in Edo State, has already started a program in that effect. So a lot has gone into this program already. So we believe that much more should be done. It's not just about putting a program like this on hold, but whatever it is, we would like to get all the opinions, even from the legal aspect, and we'll expect our analyst, Barrister Prince Uzemi Olumuagbodo, to call in today. So we also would like to give us a little more on that there was a mild drama at the National Assembly on Tuesday when Festus Keyamo, who is the Minister of State for Labor and Employment, engaged lawmakers in a shouting match. This was when he appeared before them over the initiative of the federal government for the employment of 774,000 Nigerians in a special recruitment exercise. So the lawmakers had accused Keyamo of hijacking the program from the National Directorate of Employment, NDE. But the minister hit back, saying they were the ones trying to take over the project. After Keyamo left the National Assembly complex, the lawmakers directed a suspension of the program, but Keyamo responded, saying that they lacked the powers to take such an action. So we also like to get the opinion of the legal practitioners on this. So in their Wednesday statement, the National Assembly said the project has been put on hold because the modalities of how the workers will be engaged needs to be appraised. It said, accordingly, the National Assembly reminds members of the public that the legislature was part of the conception of the program. So now the question is it about who started the program? Is it about the conception of the program, or who is the major person that the program should be credited to? So the National Assembly sent the word that the public should remember that the legislature was part of the conception of the program. They approved it and appropriated funds for its implementation as part of its COVID-19 response strategy. That's what the National Assembly is saying. And it continued by saying that the National Assembly, in line with its constitutional oversight, has mandated its committees on labor and productivity to immediately invite the Honorable Minister for Labor and Productivity and any other relevant officials of the ministry to appear before the Joint Committee to brief it on the modality for the implementation of the engagement of 774,000 persons for public works. So meanwhile, the spokesman said the National Assembly would ensure that there is transparency in the process. So we have all of these facts. The question is, what is the way forward? A lot has been deployed already for full implementation of this program. So we'd like you to send in your take, what you think should be the way forward as we talk the nation in the right direction. So let's get your comments now and your suggestions. Just a second. We have comment here. Says, good morning, ma. Just a minute. Okay. We are making progress. Nigeria is blossoming. That's from Mercy Emmanuel. All right. Then we have Chinedui Hanacho saying, good morning, great job, Blossom Nigeria. Kudos, thank you. Oriflame Club Genesis says they are proud to collect tax when they have destroyed many companies. Maybe this is in reference to the Federal Inland Revenue Service that we're commending. This individual is saying that they are proud to collect tax when they have destroyed many companies. So maybe we'll have to get more from Oriflame on this. What exactly do you mean by this? Let's get more from you. Then Oriflame Club Genesis continues by saying that they can impose social distancing, washing of hands, and wearing of masks to secondary school, but not to universities. They have a choice if to believe in this COVID-19 deceit or not. This is what Oriflame Club calls it. Okay, so while we ask you to call in, we just remind you of the number again. It is 090. For today, you can reach us on 090-5252-5107. If you would like to call in, the number again is 090-5252-5107. So with this, you can always call us and let us know what you think. So Oriflame, like as I was saying earlier, says that they cannot impose social distancing, washing of hand, and wearing of mask to secondary schools, but that they can impose social distancing, washing of hand, and wearing of mask to secondary school, but not to universities. In other words, you cannot impose that in the university environment. So they have a choice to believe in the COVID-19 deceit or not. Thank you so much, Oriflame, but like I said, a little more explanation will go a long way. So we have your point on the tax guys who you say have destroyed many companies. So what and what do you refer to, or are you referring to by that? Because we're also calling them to action if there is any area they have not done well or they have performed beyond expectation, so that even if necessary, we can also get more facts from their own end. So as we are saying this morning, a lot is happening out there. A program like the National recruitment exercise that is already on is being put on hold because of a mild disagreement between the National Assembly and the Minister of State for Productivity and Labor, that is Festus Keyamo. So our question is, a program of this magnitude that a lot of Nigerians have started hoping on, is this something that should be put on hold because of such a disagreement, or maybe the National Assembly should have given more room for investigation while the program continues. After all, they have approved the program at the first instance. So what they needed was more explanation as to how the employment of 774,000 Nigerians is going to take effect effectively. So in other words, they needed to get more explanation. How and why should 774,000 Nigerians be employed, and what exactly do you want them to do across the nation? So while that was going on, after they had given their initial approval to this exercise, we are of the opinion that it should not have been put on hold, and this is not a very good signal from the National Assembly. No matter how much explanation they have, we are to consider the fact that the people and the interests of the people come first, and that's a very good one. So Blossom Nigeria, we have the number on the screen right now, 090-5252-5107. You can call us, reach us, and let us know what you think about this. And you can also send your comments, like we have some of us who have already commented. Send us your comment and let us look into this critically. Let us make our suggestions, the way forward, and how you think Nigeria can tackle this challenge at this point in time. And from the legal aspect, what are expected? Is a minister right to have said that the National Assembly lacks the power to have done that? And whatever it is, what would they suggest so that they can even out whatever be the challenge and everything can move on smoothly? All right. We have a call coming in. Hello? Hello? Okay, it didn't connect. So send in your comment right now. Let us know what you think and how you think this issue can be tackled. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Send us your take on this. So while the calls are also trying to come in, don't forget what we said, that the National Assembly said they are the ones, that the public should remember the fact that they are the ones that gave their approval for the full implementation of the program, and they appropriated the funds for its implementation. So if they have done this much, why should they put the program on hold? We have a call now. Hello? Hello?
Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, this is one of your ardent follower on BlossomNigeria.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Yeshua. You are welcome.
Yes, ma'am. So, regarding the NPA stuff that you were talking about,
okay,
I read this morning on news that the Senate are requesting for slots, for like 1,000 slots. Yes, 1,000 slots.
Okay.
So now, just tell me, because when Buhari was coming in, even many of these persons, they said that they are coming in for a change. So is this the change we are talking about? A country where we still practice favoritism, nepotism, ethnicity, and so on. So this is actually not the change that we are talking about. Because imagine now that you give each member of the Senate 1,000 slots, and House of Representatives. In House of Representatives, they have 360 members there. In House of Senate, they have about 109 members there. So that is about still giving out 470,000 jobs. So that means they are giving nobody jobs.
Okay.
And that was why, or maybe that is why Nigeria is still ranked as one of the most corrupt countries in the world. And I just feel that things have to change. Because if they don't change this, and if this is not taken care of, this will, like, the consequence will linger forever and ever. And in fact, I just don't know what to say, because this country is becoming tiring.
No, brother Yeshua Eben, thank you so much for your call. We appreciate it. But at the same time, you should not get tired. And frustration is not the answer here, because no matter how frustrated you get, if you don't put in any action plan to help you come out of this situation, like you said, it will linger forever and ever. And only God knows what you mean by forever and ever. But the point is that even if there's an allegation that the Senate is asking for, some said 1,000 members per Senate, but we have a comment that came in from the press yesterday that the Senate is demanding for 15% of the total number of the 774,000 people that are to be recruited across the country. So if that is true, and maybe the ministry does not agree with this, how much can the ministry take? And maybe there's some of the underlying factors leading to the disagreement between the ministry and the National Assembly. So we are saying that yeah?
Sorry to cut you short, ma. But at the first place, why should the Senate request for 15%?
That's what we are talking about.
Accordingly. The work or the job should be given according to meritocracy, not favoritism.
Why?
That's why so many of our very intelligent youth, they are now channeling their energy to negative things. Just see this man called Oscar. I'm very sure that if you read about him, will be very educated. So because of this, because many of them feel that they can't just get anything good in this country. So because of that, they have been channeling their because many of them don't know anybody in the Senate. Okay. So if you don't know anybody in the Senate, does this mean you will not get a job?
Okay, let me say.
It's very bad.
I understand your point, but what I'm saying is that you don't give up and you don't say you are tired. So no matter what, let's stick to the fact that we are working towards a better Nigeria. And what we are saying is that the National Assembly is even wrong to demand for a percentage, to say, okay, let them have maybe 10% of that number so that they can get across to their constituent unit and ensure that those guys are well employed or whatever it is. They might have their reasons, but we think that the ministry that started the program and is willing to implement the program should be given the full backing to carry out that program to the maximum. So the Senate or the National Assembly should not try to dominate or come in a way that will not help the program to a very full and perfect conclusion. And we have another call right now. Let's just quickly take that before we continue on this. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Is this Barrister Prince?
Yes, yes, speaking.
We're expecting to see your face.
Okay, I couldn't make this visually.
Okay, now that you are on the audio format, so talk to us. What do you think is the legal angle of some of these disagreements between the National Assembly and the Ministry of Labor and Productivity on how and why the program is running the way it is? They needed more explanation, and because they didn't get it, they put the program on hold. What do you think?
First of all, I do understand where both parties are coming from, but what I want to say at this point is that the National Assembly has the power to investigate what the executive is doing.
Okay.
What that means is that the National Assembly can investigate either corruption or improper following of procedures by the executive. But what the National Assembly cannot do is that they cannot in any way take over the functions of the executive. The National Assembly cannot say that this program must be either under our control or we must be the ones to determine the running or the personnel that have to be in that program. So on that count, the National Assembly is wrong. They cannot arrogate powers to themselves that they do not have. So what the National Assembly should have done is to either investigate if the proper procedures for the selection of either members of the committee or the beneficiaries of this program, if it was done properly and in line with the law. That is what we expect from the National Assembly. But it's not for the National Assembly to say that approvals for the selection of members or beneficiaries of the scheme must either be gotten through them or that they must partake in the decision making of those approvals. They cannot do that.
Okay, now we are saying that we understand your point and a very, very key point, but we are saying that, like you have stated, even though the National Assembly have their reasons, they cannot take over the functions of the executive. And to that effect, asking the program to stop for now because they've not gotten the sufficient explanation, even though we thought that investigation can be ongoing while the program continues, because the program has gone far already and they were the ones that gave the initial approval. So do you think they should have done taken the action that they took?
The thing is this, the principle of fair hearing says that all sides must be given the opportunity to be heard fairly. Like the Minister of State for Labour was saying, he was indicted, or his character was impugned in the public. If you impugn my character in the public, you cannot now then say that let's go into private for me to defend myself. So while he stated that since you have impugned my character in public, I must also have the opportunity of the public looking on to defend myself, I think he was correct in that. So what I expected from the National Assembly is like you suggested, as the program is running, if they believe that anything has not been done properly, or any procurement procedures or whatever have not been followed, or anything illegal has been done about it, the committee should have given its report to the committee of the whole, as in the entire house, the plenary, who will then follow the law to act rightly. But for them to start, number one, throwing out those accusations without substance or evidence backing up those accusations, or to, after throwing the accusations, they are saying that you cannot respond to those accusations except going to a private session. I don't think it was proper for the National Assembly to do that. Now, what Nigerians are even saying, what Nigerians are even concerned about is that this same National Assembly was quiet when the issue of the so-called beneficiaries of the COVID-19 funds, when the issue of school children being fed when they were in their homes, when those issues came up, this National Assembly was quiet and they didn't raise any committee to say let's investigate this process. So why suddenly are you so interested in this process? Now, the general consensus out there is that National Assembly simply feels slighted because they may not have been carried along financially or with number of slots in the program. And if that is the case, then we can only conclude that the National Assembly is not speaking from an altruistic position, but they are simply speaking from a position of self-interest, trying to either protect their interests or to ensure that their interest is not slighted. It's not infringing upon in any way. So it becomes a program, a process of the National Assembly trying to ensure that its bellies remain full instead of doing the right thing that they should have done. So that's the general consensus out here.
All right. Thank you so much, Barrister. But before we let you go, a quick one. What is the solution to this debacle right now, going forward?
What is it?
The solution.
The solution? The solution simply is for the National Assembly to ensure that they carry out their constitutional functions without crossing over into the realm or the jurisdiction of any of the other arms of government. Let them, if they are not yet aware, let them read of the Constitution and know what exactly they are supposed to do in situations like this, and let them carry out their functions diligently. If you have any issues with the program that the Ministry of Labour is carrying out, please do it according to the law. Don't do it in such a way in the manner that we have seen so far. So my suggestion for them is to ensure that they do things properly in accordance with the law, not just in accordance with the law, but they must be seen to be in accordance with the law at all times. Okay,
all right. Thank you so much, Barrister Prince Olomu Agodo. So you have given us a very strong clarification, and from that angle, the Barrister Prince has pointed to us that we have reason to expect a lot more from the National Assembly, and that is why we're saying that no matter what is the issue on ground, ground, they can look for other ways to resolve it, and even investigation can be ongoing into the full implementation of the recruitment program while they allow the program to continue. So we would like to appeal to the National Assembly to look into its decision again, and if possible, resigned on the decision, because what we are talking about is the interest of the people. What we are talking about is the populace, and we are also looking at how to improve the system so that we will not increase. Told us that he is becoming frustrated, so we don't want more of such frustrations. So no matter what has happened, National Assembly should look into this decision again, go back on it, and see how they can resolve whatever tension they have with the Ministry of Labor and Productivity. And since they've also asked for the Minister of Labor, that's because he's the Minister of State for Labor that was Festus Keyamo's presentation. Now they are asking for the full minister, or is it the senior minister, we'll call him now, the Minister of State for Labor and Productivity, Minister of Labor and Productivity this time around, to also come before the National Assembly for further explanations. So we also like the minister to make it a quick one so that this project will not suffer in any way. And as much as a lot of communities out there already working on it, if we can get 1,000 people from each local government across the nation, that will be a lot. And the minimum of what they will be paid according to the government is 20,000 per month, and that will be a lot. So we see it as a means of helping to alleviate poverty and also contributing to the productivity in the land of Nigeria. So before we go, let me just take this comment from wonderful Emmanuel. She said, well, I learned something from my boss yesterday which reflects in the matter on ground. The first obstacle to a project is not starting at all, and anything good started is good. It may not be excellent at first, but it is better than not doing it at all. I feel they should let it roll. Of course, they can dialogue on it, but they shouldn't put it on hold. I'm sure that's what she wanted to say. Then Savion Duka says, great topic. Then you can even send in your comments now. That's coming from our team, that you can send in your comments even after the show. And visit our website, www.BlossomNigeria, for more topics that we have treated on nation building. Share our link and invite your contact to Blossom Nigeria on Facebook. So thank you so much for being a part of this program. Don't forget, we have told the National Assembly, we have appealed to them that no matter what, let us look at the future of our great citizens, and not just about how and why you did it in a way you did. And even if you are not happy about it, let the investigation continue while you allow the program to roll. The program should continue. So let's work with that mindset. And with that, we say thank you so much for being a part of this show. Don't forget, Let's Talk Presidency is on Friday, that's tomorrow. So we are getting ready for it, and the individual we are analyzing is Peter Obi. So get ready as we talk presidency tomorrow. Thank you so much for being a part of our program.